right, are we ready?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, I'm David Peck.
And I'm Rita Peck. And this is Racing with the Pecks.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is the first video of our new channel called Racing with the Pecks. The point of the channel is we have our 2009 Cayman S that we have been tracking and racing for the last 4 years. We just recently got it updated to where it's capable of racing wheel to wheel in the race group with our local club. Our local club is called Pro Auto Sports, which we've had an affiliation with for about the last 4 years. There's also another club in town, which is a track itself, which is the Podium Club. The Podium Club is a membership club where we can drive our car on track. Pro Auto Sports is a different animal, but that's where we're racing with. And I hope to include some track videos from the in-car camera of our races, which I have some of that already. And Rita, talk about a little bit how we got started with Pro Auto Sports and how we've progressed in the last 4 years.
Well, when we originally bought the Cayman 4 years ago, it was just to have a fun sports car. We immediately joined the Porsche Club since it was a Porsche, and that was an obvious. But the Porsche Club here in Arizona does not have a lot of track events. So a few track events throughout the year, but Pro Auto Sports does one pretty much every month other than through the summer months, which is where we're at right now and why we're able to have some time to do this. So Pro Auto Sports is started by a couple years and years ago, Larry and Vicky, and then they were able to retire from that, and two brothers, Dylan and Hurley, took it over, and they do a wonderful job of allowing people to participate and get out on track without a huge amount of complicated things that they need to do in order to become members of the club and drive with the club. There are different levels depending on where you're at and how long you've been doing it, so kind of a beginning, intermediate, and more advanced. Most people, before they wheel-to-wheel race, do a lot of the beginning, intermediate run groups and then start to become more and more comfortable, oftentimes time trialing, and then they become more and more comfortable with doing the wheel-to-wheel racing. We, like everyone, went through the different run groups, and finally this year, starting in 2023, we were able to get the car ready and able to start doing some of the wheel-to-wheel racing, and we've really been enjoying it. So that's kind of a little bit of the history that we have.
Thank you, Rita. Okay, so I'd like to just briefly describe Pro Auto Sports. As stated, it's a club that rents out racetracks around here in Arizona, mostly around Arizona. We've gone to California a couple of times with them, to Chuckwalla, but Pro Auto Sports typically will have 2-day weekends, and that's what we like. Part of what we want to convey in these videos is how much fun we have through the weekend. It's not just about the racing. There's a social aspect. We've got a lot of friends in this group that we like to that we enjoy spending time with on the weekends. It's mostly a bunch of gearheads, but young and old, rich and poor, and we're all have the same goal to get out and have fun with our cars. But in Pro Auto Sports, a typical day will consist of, in the race group, you'll have a practice session, a qualifying session, a qualifying race possibly, and then a full race at the end of the day. On another day, you might have a practice, a qualifying, and then a longer race, 30 minutes or longer. In the regular run groups, if you're starting out, you'll start out in the red group, which is basically the beginner group, and then the orange group is the intermediate, and then you go on to the green group. Each group has 20-minute sessions that for 20 minutes, you've got 20 minutes of practice. 4 sessions a day typically. But there's also the hot lap time trial group, which we participated in with our other car, our 2019 GT3 RS. And Rita, describe how that went. We started out with this car, but then we switched to the GT3 RS, and we ran that for the 2022 season mostly.
Yes.
Go ahead and describe a little bit about how that went.
So we bought the GT3 RS in 2021, in kind of the middle of the year, or towards the end of the year. I don't remember exactly, but
It was September.
yeah, it was September. Okay, so in 2021, September of 2021, we bought the GT3 RS Porsche, and mainly for me to use. We had been sharing the Cayman up to this point, and so we decided that we would have two cars, one for each of us. So one was always able to be doing something while the other was out on track. But the main thing that we used it for was time trialing. It was a great car for that. We do like having this car for going out to the Podium Club, which is the private track we belong to, and also it's street legal, so we can drive it on the street. We don't need to trailer it.
Carefully drive it on the street, because those cops will give you a ticket if they think you're acting up in that car. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Ask me how I know. No,
yeah.
Don't ask me. Go ahead, Rita. Sorry.
But so anyway, so I time trialed for 2022, enjoyed myself, learned a lot. Just missed a little bit by taking first place, but took second place, so that was fun. The GT3 RS is a great car, and we look forward to utilizing it some more, just probably not this year in the wheel-to-wheel racing, of course.
Rita, I'd like you to describe a little bit about when we get to the track, what do we have going on? We have our motorhome, and we sometimes have two cars or one car, and just talk about our track setup.
So usually we'll go for a minimum of a 2-day event. Oftentimes it's 3 days. There will be one practice day, for example, on Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday will be the actual competition part of it. We'll arrive in our motorhome usually with a trailer with the Cayman on it, because the Cayman is not street legal. And then we will arrive, unpack, get all our awnings out, our canopies, shade canopies, because in Arizona here it's very sunny and even in the winter warm. So we try to protect ourselves in the car as much as we can from the sun and the heat. But when we arrive at the track, like I say, we get everything set up, meet and greet a lot of friends, get everything ready to go. So when the time comes, everything is ready to go. We do all of our maintenance and mechanicking and everything at home before we go, because we like to arrive ready to go. So when we get there, it's mainly relaxing, other than the driving portion of it. Generally be several hundred people there, and we'll usually have around 200 or so driving, which is quite a few, and obviously not all in the same run group, so it works out well. Usually around 30 in a group. Our tracks usually tend to run between 2 and 2.5 miles, depending on the track. And so it'll accommodate about 30 people or so, and without it being too crowded. But yeah, everyone seems to have a great time. Almost everyone is respectful of one another, and doesn't tend to get too aggressive. We're hobbyists, we're not professionals, we're not earning a living doing this. And Pro Auto Sports makes it easy to get on track, makes it a little easier for your average Joe to come out and, enjoy, dip their toe in, see if they like it or not, and then go forward from there. So. Yeah.
All right. Well, and I'd just like to add that that's one of the things we like about Pro Auto Sports, is that it is easy to get on track. And you don't have to have a race car. Any car will go. Preferred that it's a sports car, and they run the gambit from. There's a lot of Miatas out there, and those guys are having fun. And then there's a lot of new Corvettes, and occasionally you're going to see a Ferrari or something out there. Our GT3 RS is kind of one of the higher end cars, but still, you don't have to have that. I've seen people out there in SUVs and pickups, and you know what? They got big smiles on their faces, and that's what it's all about. Rita touched on the fact that we're amateurs, we are enthusiasts, we are hobbyists. But what me and Rita do, which I love about what we do, is she takes care of the domestic things. She makes sure that the motorhome is clean, that there's food to eat, that there's drinks, and we typically have a group of people that come and hang out around us, because a lot of people don't have the motorhome like we do. And so we'll set up our patio with chairs, and it's not unusual to have 10, 12 people hanging out. So what we're hoping to do here, what I'd like to do, and I know Rita's on board too, is just show a little bit of the driving and the excitement of the racing, and a little bit of the social aspects of pro auto sports, all the friends and people that we have. And I hope I can get a couple of them involved and maybe show off their cars and talk to them, interview them after races, which after the race, everybody's like high-fiving or maybe mad at each other sometimes too, but at any rate, it's exciting. Last time I had a race, I got out of the car, I was just pumping my fist. Oh man, how great was that? But anyway, it's a lot of fun. It's a busy, active weekend when we're doing this. And right now it's July 4th, as a matter of fact. We got up early because it's going to be hot as heck today. And we're not racing right now. Hopefully, once we get the aero on this car, we'll go out to the Podium Club, and I'd like to get some footage from that and talk about the car at that point. And but at any rate, I have a 2-minute clip of Rita's last race, which was at Indy Motorsports Ranch in Willcox, Arizona. Great track, and it's also a private club. We're not members there, but
that occurred end of May. This last race was over at Indy Motorsports, which is a really nice track in Willcox, Arizona, which is about 40 miles west of the New Mexico-Arizona border. So anyway, I hope you enjoy the video that we have. This was my race on Saturday, and it was a smooth, controlled race. Everybody was pretty well behaving themselves, so that was good. It was nice. It was enjoyable. It was fun. Was not too stressful, as sometimes races can be when you're fighting for every inch of space, but this one you can spread out a little on the track, as you'll see, so worked out really good. Yeah.
It'll be a quick clip. And I just like to close by saying I've wanted to do this for a long time, start a YouTube channel, but I didn't want it just to be track videos. I wanted it to be like we're going to try to do now. But my issue has been editing. Editing's hard, but turns out all you have to do is go on this thing called YouTube and type in how do you edit with iMovie, which is what I have on my MacBook Pro, and I'm pretty good at it now. I'm pretty good. I've watched probably 30, 40 minutes of video. I know what I'm doing. So at any rate, and then also the point of this channel is not to, I'm never going to make a living. I'm not even trying. I don't care if I ever get monetized. That's not a goal at all. But if it does kind of blow up, I'm thinking I'm going to work out a little bit and start wearing like some muscle shirts and, try to get the ladies involved, and I want to get her in a bikini out here. That'd be cool too. And we'd just be the sexy race couple. Would that be okay with you? We're going to do that. If it works out, if you guys like it enough, we get enough for good response, we might go that direction. But
that
I don't know.
would have worked about 30 years ago.
Oh my God. I'm still sexy. Anyway.
Yes, you are.
Thank you very much for watching. And I hope you can enjoy this. And I hope all our dreams come true. Okay.
Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. So here we are getting started on the straight. My main competition is going to be the little yellow Porsche, so 2 Porsches battling. He has a little more straight line speed than me. He is in a class that is 1 ahead of me, but overall we were pretty similarly matched, so we had a good time going back and forth. So here we are coming into going onto the straight again, and I've been pushing as hard as I can behind him, but I've just been kind of waiting for him, and there he goes, and then I can go. So didn't have quite enough straight line speed, and there's a number of straight line areas on this track that make it difficult for me because we don't have as much high-end speed as, for example, the yellow Porsche does. But now I'm looking ahead, hoping to catch the next cars that I see, and they're quite a bit ahead of me, but as you'll see here, slowly but surely start to catch them. And here we are, another lap, and doesn't look like, yep, there, I see them, they're coming. So just working as hard as I can to catch them, and we've been able to catch them, so enjoy the last of the race here.